Yo, what up, Buttercup? We're live. Reber live. August 8th, 2016, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So here's the deal. Got to let me know if you can see the whiteboard. All right. So I might need to adjust some light. I might need to do that for us. I got this other light in the room. Maybe I move it over here. Kind of move it back. Y'all see that big glare there, don't you? That kind of sucks. Let me see if it gets better if I reposition. No, that didn't work. All right, so Dan, can you see it? Can you read what's on there? I got my feed happening over here. Sorry, you're all looking at my butt right now. So let me just see if I can see anybody's replies to this, because I want to make sure that we're all on the same. Okay, so I see a yep. Okay. I see a yep. You can hear me. You can see what we got going on here and a bunch of cool stuff like that. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about our sales goals and how many leads we need and things like that, okay? So let me do that so I don't have to bend over so far for a while. So what happens a lot of times is that a contractor or business owner will pick a number. They'll do this. They'll like reach back here and pull a number out of their butt, okay? That was classy. So they'll do that. And they'll throw it on the board. You know, they'll say, yeah, my sales goal is, $500,000. That's what we're going to do this year. Okay, can you all see the green? Does the green show up or no? Just hit me up, yes or no. So the goal is going to be to get this board up behind the desk at some point here. All right, so yes or no on the green. Can you see the green? Yes. Okay, awesome. There's a little delay here happening. So we pick these numbers out of the air and we go, I want to sell $1 million. I want to sell 500,000. I want to, pick your number, whatever your number is, okay? And then we run through the year and we realize at some point that either we blow the goal out of the water or we miss the goal and fall short. And we don't really know why, okay? So there's a lot of reasons that people buy. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not going to get into sales process and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into pre-qualifying like we talk about in the Contractor Sales Academy, which will save you a ton of time and make you a bunch of money. What I'm going to talk about is how to figure out exactly what the title of this thing is, how to figure out how many leads do I need in order to hit my sales goal, okay? And so couple things that need to happen first. Number one, if you have historical data, this is why it's so important to track our leads and the sources of our leads. If you have historical data that you can look at and you go, hey, last year, in 2015, let's say, we got 100 leads through the year. Okay, not that many leads, right? We got 100 leads. We need to know how many incoming leads came into the business. Now, to me, a lead is anyone who reaches out to your company in any way, shape, or form and wants to talk to you about a service that you may or may not offer. So if you're a landscaper who only does hardscapes and somebody calls and says, yeah, I want my grass cut, that's still a lead because they reached out to you. They're just not a qualified lead. Okay, so lead sources are, Google, you got past customers, you got referrals, you have what I call influencers. So if you're a painting contractor, an influencer is going to be a carpet guy who's in dinging up walls all day, every day. He's a good guy that should have your card and refer you some work. So all these different leads that feed into your business, all right? So we need to know that. And if you don't have that information, then do your best to figure it out as best you can, but then immediately start tracking your leads. All right, then I need to go, okay, how many sales did I have out of all the leads that came in? And let's just make it easy. Let's say I sold 50% of them. I had 50 sales, and let's pretend, let me get my calculator out here so I don't have to do any math tonight. Let's pretend that last year, okay, we're planning this year's new sales goal up here. Hey, I want to do 500 grand this year. And this is how many leads I had. This is how many actual sales or jobs that we did. And if our total revenue last year was, say, $350,000, I'm going to take last year's revenue of $350K and I'm going to divide it by 50 jobs, okay? Which is $7,000. So yeah, you had a $500 job, you had a $50,000 job, but lumped in, averaged out, we did 50 projects at $7,000 on average for a total of $350,000 in sales. Okay, so when you have this data, and it's really cool when you have multiple years and you can see like, hey, wow, we always hover right around this $6,500 to $7,000 range or whatever your amount comes out to, you can now plan and forecast in better ways. All right, so if my sales goal is $500,000 and my average sale is $7,000, I'm going to take 500K, all right, divided by $7,000. So 500K divided by 7,000. I need 71 jobs. Okay, I'm going to need 71 actual sales based on the historical data of my average job size, my average transaction price, in order to reach a $500,000 sales goal. So, but it still does not answer the question that this whole session here is about for you, is how many total leads am I going to need? Because if I still get 100 leads and I still sell 50% of them, I still only have 50 jobs. I'm 21 leads short of what I need. So give me an amen or a you got that, homie, or something in here, just so I know that you guys are with me so far. So we have a deficit of 21 leads in order to hit our sales goal. So let me refresh, see if anyone's got a, you demand or anything like that in there, because that's always helpful for low ego people like me. We hate compliments and we hate when people tell us that we're awesome. All right, so what we're going to do in order to do these 71 jobs that we needed, I'm going to divide that. I'm going to take 71, and there's spreadsheets that we can make to make this all cool for you. All right, but I'm going to divide it by my closing percentage. Okay, so if I'm selling half of the leads, that's 50 cents, 50 sales, I would divide it by 0.50. If I was selling 40%, it would be 0.40. If it was 42%, it'd be 0.42. So 71 on the calculator divided by 0.5 gives us 142 leads that you are going to need in order to have an increase in sales from the 350K to hit the 500K. All right? So let me just see what people are telling you. You got that, homie? All right, Rob. Thanks, bro. All right, so when we set our sales goals, we really need to understand, like, what is my lead flow right now? Because leads are the name of the game. Leads are the name of the game. Leads and sales. Well, you can't sell anything if you don't have any leads. So what did I have? I had 100 leads, so I need 42, right and sideways, sorry. I need 42 more leads this new year for this new goal than I got last year. So most of us, we go, okay, I'm going to raise my sales goal. Yeah, I figure I got to get some more leads. I just figure they're going to show up. Okay, that's not always the case. So I'm going to erase some stuff here. So if you're watching this and you want to go back and see something, go ahead and rewind it. All right, so we need 42 more leads to hit our goal. So now, here's where the rubber hits the road. We want to know what we spent in marketing last year when we had the $350,000 in sales. What did I spend in marketing? You got your Google, you got your social media person, you've got money that you spend in a networking group, you sponsor an event, you do a home show, whatever it is. Let's just pretend for the sake of this that you spent $12,000, okay, to get the 350. And that $12,000, there's two things. Oh, by the way, time out here. This is the stuff that Mark Cuban's going to ask you on Shark Tank someday, so pay attention. All right, he's going to go, so what's it cost to get a lead? How much does it cost you to get a sale? And all that other good stuff. All right, so cost, I'll write it out. Cost per lead, all right, is what? Somebody weigh in. If I spent $12,000 in marketing and I have 100 leads last year, what is my cost per lead? I'm going to wait till somebody pops in. You might have already typed it and it's just taken a minute to show up. All right, so if that's the case, I apologize. I'll refresh my computer, see what we got. I'm looking at the comments there and I'm looking at my screen back here, so I'm kind of all over the place. But I want somebody to do their math. If you spent 12 grand last year in marketing and you have 100 leads to show for it, what is your cost per lead? Anyone? All right, Dan Auk is the one I see. All right, first, $120. So that means every time the phone rang last year, just to get somebody to call you, you're basically spending $120, okay? So that's an important number to know. Now, we go cost per sale, and let's write sale with a dollar sign. We had 50 jobs, okay? So now we take the marketing money we spent of $12,000, okay? And I'm refreshing here again. Sure you're all enjoying looking at the back of my head. Okay. Refreshed. What is our cost per sale? $240. Bam. Look at that. $240. So basically, it costs you $240, see that, to acquire a customer. Okay? So for you spent 12 grand in marketing, you had 100 leads, you had 50 sales, your cost per lead is this, your cost per sale is this. Now, what does this have to do with our new sales goal? Remember, we needed what? 42. We needed 42 more leads in our new year to hit our new goal to make up $150,000 difference, all right, because we needed, 21 more jobs, roughly, give or take, okay? So what we're going to do here is if I know that on average it costs me $120 to get a lead and I need, what did we say, 42 more leads, I need to up my $120 times 42 additional leads. I'm going to have to plan on spending somewhere around $5,040 more in marketing in this next year. Damn, Dan, look at you, man. I look up and the number's there. You're my calculator man from now on. All right? I need to add that to the already 12K. So I'm what, about 17 grand in marketing, 17 to 20 grand in marketing is generally what I'm going to have to spend in order to generate those additional 42 leads And if my sales rate stays the same, okay, if my sales rate stays the same, I will, by the law of averages and the numbers of my historical data, be able to hit my sales goal. I kind of feel like John Madden right now. It's kind of cool. So here's a problem though. Possible problem. Let's say you sold 50% last year. This year you only sold 40%. Okay? So I'm not going to do all the math here for the sake of time here tonight, but so much of this depends on what percentage of these leads are you closing. So, and you want to know if you're going to spend an additional $5,000 or 17 to 20K in marketing, or 50 grand or 100 grand, the more data you can have about where these leads come from that lead to sales, you can make wise decisions when it comes to spending your marketing money. So if you're doing something that, let's pick on Yelp because they're a bunch of jags, right? Give me a yeah man or something if you think Yelp are a bunch of morons. Okay, that's what I hear. Anyway, so they want you to spend $300-400 a month or whatever. Well, if you have no leads or very few leads coming in that turn into sales, because you've tracked all this stuff, you can chop that out next year, save yourself $3,000, and put that $3,000 to another source that's working for you. Okay? So, one other thing. I'm really big into what we talked about earlier, were these influencer relationships. So an influencer with me would be a carpet guy. It'd be another guy in the trades, a realtor. It could be a number of things. Your past customer referrals. You send out emails, you keep in touch with your past customers, and they, sorry, I'm burping. I just had a smoothie and hot wings. So anyway, really crazy. I was trying to be healthy, and then there was a wing place next to the smoothie place. And so I bought the smoothie and walked next door and bought Tiga and I some wings. So there you have it. So now I'm burping. You email your past customers. That was a total squirrel moment. Email your past customers. They refer you to somebody who picks up the phone and calls you. Now, you didn't necessarily write a check of $120 for that lead. Or when that carpet guy hands your business card to a homeowner and says, hey, you should really call these guys, they're really good. Guys, every time that happens, every time you have these relationship leads come in, okay? Past client leads, customer referral leads, the whole, influencer leads. In essence, every time you have a lead that comes in one of those sources, you're saving yourself like $120 based on our math, okay? So, I know we're looking at kind of a really crazy chicken scratch board here right now, but the bottom line is track how many leads you have coming in, and if you've never done it before, just start today. Start in August. We're just a few days into August, and every time the phone rings, you jot down, hey, there's a lead, here's their name, here's the lead source, okay? Then figure out how many of those jobs you actually sell, and then figure out, okay, I sold $10,000, or I sold $100,000 this month, and I had 10 sales. So Dan, what's our average sale? 100,000 in revenue, 10 sales. I know you're typing it right now. So our average sale would be 10 grand, and you can start working this math right away. Now the good news is I actually work with a lot of contractors that are doing $500,000, $750,000. I got two people well over $1 million. They're not even spending that in marketing every year. Okay, they've dialed in the experience and all this good stuff. Imagine what happens when they dial this in, raise their presence in their area. They start putting some money towards that. All right, so the last couple minutes here, looking at the clock, I want to open it up for any quick questions that somebody might have. So I'm going to refresh my page a couple times in the next minute here. And this might get asked, it might not get asked, but I'll answer this while I'm waiting, is what percentage of my income or my sales should I spend on marketing? And I would say that depends, okay? So in years past, traditional marketing, before we had so much content online and social media and things like that, it was pretty common that if you really wanted to aggressively grow your business, that you would be up in the 8, 10, 12, 15% range. So for every, $100 that comes in, $100 that comes in, you might be spending, 10 to 15 bucks on marketing. A more established business that's been in the game longer, they've got brand recognition, they're involved in their community, you could be as low to 2 to 3% of your total revenue. So a lot of you know that we started a new painting company here in Colorado Springs called Simplify Painting not too long ago. And by the way, if you're a really kick-ass painter, we're hiring. So, and Colorado is a beautiful place to live. You should see what I'm looking at outside right now. All right, so we spend, at this point in the business, we're brand new. Nobody knew us. We've got a lot of work to do, and I'm not going to get into everything that we're doing. A lot of it is social media related, but I'm spending at least 50% of our revenue right now because I don't take a paycheck from the company at this point. All right, so I am spending 50% or better, depending on the month, of revenue back into marketing, rebranding, building relationships, some SEO stuff, some content, and a few other things like that. All right, so you've got to, you probably need to really sit back and go, okay, how aggressive do I want to be? If you've been around a while and the phone just kind of rings, that's a good sign, but you can't bank on that forever. Marketing can really be broken down to a science in the trades. And once you figure out that ratio and those numbers that work for you and your business, you go, hey, I want more work, so let's just turn the marketing machine on and spend a little bit of money. All right. So, so other questions here. Dan is, I think, being a smart mouth. I can't really tell. Sorry, Dan. I love you though. So any questions? Any other questions? Anything about tonight that I didn't cover that you were hoping to get when you came on this live thing that we have here on this thing called Facebook? All right. So track your leads, track your sales, track your average job size, know the amount of money you spend each month and each year on marketing to figure out your cost per lead, cost per sale. That's not your cost per sale, but it was there, in order to see if the math even makes sense. So guys, a lot of time people will, they'll go, yeah, I want to grow my business 40%. Let's go get it. But they don't ever reverse engineer and figure out how many more, they know how many more sales a lot of times, but they don't know how to figure out how many more leads that they're going to have to get. Okay. Another way that you can hit this sales goal, remember we had a $350,000 a year and we wanted to hit 500, so we have a $150,000 gap. Another way to help you reach that goal without having to get more leads is to become a better salesperson. What if you could raise that average sale price to $7,500 or $8,500? Okay, little tweaks here and there in your business can have a big, big impact. All right. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight. I'm going to refresh one more time just in case there's a question. Please stop. They're all coming in, so many. All right. And while I do that, if you recall, if you watched any of these, I usually try to start with some cranking music. Rob, I'll get to that in a second. I just saw that. We actually got slapped on the wrist because we post these videos. We also upload them to YouTube, and there's a whole music thing. So I'm going to have to chill on cranking the Foo Fighters when I do these. So do I use pipeline deals? No, I did in my old company back in Chicago. Right now, I am using, Dan, what do you use it to? What's it called? House Call Pro. House Call Pro is a thing that I use. But I also just, for tracking leads, you guys, I also use just a spreadsheet. You can just use a spreadsheet. There's base CRM. There's less annoying CRM. There's so many things out there. The best CRM and lead tracking thing is going to be the thing that you actually use. Okay? So That's the scoop. So yeah, Pipeline Deals is solid, man. I used it back in Chicago years ago. All right, so with that, one last thing here. If you, what was I going to say? I had another squirrel moment. I have a lot of those. Our Contractor Sales Academy Profit Summit is in September in Burtonsville, Maryland. All right, so I would love to have you consider coming out, being our guest, and leveling up your business. All right, this is a really special community that's going to hold your feet to the fire. This will be the best money you ever spend in your business, I promise you. Go to motorhard.com/summit for Profit Summit, and you can get more info there, or you can always hit me up here if you have questions. With that, you guys, I appreciate you hanging with us tonight, and I will catch you Thursday night. This Thursday night coming up again at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And our topic is, I have it. Hold on. I have it. Our topic is, I promise I have it. The most important day of your project is ... We're going to talk about what that most important day of your project is. Thanks for hanging out. Share this video with somebody who's a contractor who you know needs some help leveling up their business. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks a ton.